Hey, we're live. It's Tom Cassidy, slightly hoarse. He sounds a lot worse than he is. He's feeling great, but he doesn't want to talk too much, and that's good because in the house with Tom today, we've got Mark Berger from the other side of the pond from Florida. And Mark's got some amazing stuff to share, as always. So over to you, Mark. Just hit us with whatever you've got. And if you can get me to say just yes or no every so often, that'll be awesome. All right, buddy, over to you.
I'll be fair on you, Tom. Well, I do appreciate everything. And I just want to say I had a wonderful day. And I went to the beach with my family, like a pool club. And I was playing with my brother's kids, my niece and my nephew, and actually it was an enjoyable time. And my nephew is 4 years old, and he's a really cute guy, and which brings me to the fact something I want to talk about. Last night I went to see a movie called Heaven is for Real, and it's kind of funny is, Tom, we've been on this kind of like pseudo quest about heaven on earth for a little while now. I don't know who broached the subject, but it's always been something that you and I have talked about on the side in the chat. And how long of a quest? How long has that been? Like about a month ago, almost.
It actually might be more than a month. I remember me and you talking. Yeah, no, probably about a month. Yeah, about 4 or 5 weeks, maybe. Yeah.
How long? We're actually in May, right? So we've been doing this since like March.
Well,
so
we're in week 5 of the official program, but it kind of it started. I mean, our first one-to-one was March the 6th.
Yeah. So now here we are.
2 months
and
in.
It's May 10th.
Yeah.
So it's 2 months later. And we've been on a pseudo quest for like heaven and earth and stuff like that. And I've been, talking to people, and or people have been coming to me or whatever it is, and they've of faith, people of faith, that study the Bible, that they believe what they believe in, and I've been asking them about heaven and earth. And a lot of them, I asked about what Jesus was like, saying to people and everything like that. And a lot of them was saying that, Jesus, was brought into existence about bringing heaven and earth. That's what he wanted to do and stuff like that. And they got kind of excited about it, And
yeah.
And then the whole thing, the whole purpose or whatever of Jesus is like this person that, bears all the burden of all the sins and gets redemption on the cross. And so people have this image or whatever, and this is people I spoke to from, of a certain faith or whatever, and, that's who's been put into my life, for this inquiry and stuff.
Yeah.
And they actually believe, that life is like, suffering, and that Christ took. But I was like, didn't Christ take all the pain and suffering? Isn't that kind of like paving the way for us? And we haven't done that great of a job, on our own, And but we do have hope and faith in everything, and the Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come, on earth as in heaven, and talking about it. And yet, a lot of people believe that heaven and earth isn't a possibility. And
Yeah.
it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd to me in my inquiry, and I believe in it. I firmly do believe in the existence of it, and I think that there's plenty of people out there that do, but yet, a lot of people doubt that that's heaven and earth. They think it's something else. Like, how could it be possible, to have heaven and earth. And someone that says that they do have heaven and earth, they don't understand. They don't understand, that the person said, like a 4-year-old. Who would believe a 4-year-old that he went to heaven? And his own father is a and this is a true story. I didn't make it up.
Yeah, minister.
And his father is a church guy.
Yeah.
Right? He's a preacher. And here it is, Well, it was definitely confirmed in my conversation with these people that go to church and study the Bible. And one of the guys I spoke to said, well, the devil's in the church also. Yeah, the devil is in the church because the devil doesn't want people to believe in heaven and earth. They think that heaven and earth is like something where you have to elevate yourself to, like go to. Like you have to go in the elevator to go in heaven. Go in the elevator, the metaphysical elevator, and press floor. Heaven and earth, please. Well, what about heaven and earth being the ground floor? I'm all for being the ground floor. I don't want to graduate, to bring heaven and earth, And so many of us don't even attempt even to try it or to conceptualize it.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that it formed itself, and I saw it happening in this movie because it's true, and other people.
Yeah.
And then you're the weird ones. You're the crazy ones. Oh, heaven and earth. That can't exist. I believe in it. It could be any time, Think about this. He said that it looked like being, here, but the colors are brighter. Well, I mean, and there's other stuff, but also, we live in this earth, right? And
Yeah.
the colors aren't brighter on this earth. The colors are not brighter because of the fact that all the smog and the smoke. Can you imagine, like, the earth, semi without pollution or whatever? I mean, colors would be a lot more brighter, technicolor brighter. You wouldn't have any of this smog or anything like that. Heaven and earth is like you could see and feel like everything. It's like you're one with everything, And we could all bring it here. Like it's all a total possibility. But the script, for some reason, the devil or whatever doesn't want us to think that it's possible. But people are starting to see it, and then they get that aha moment, Like, this, in the movie, Father get that aha moment. Then he had confirmation. And then he became a believer. A believer in heaven and earth. And and it's kind of like that's a quest that I'm on. And this week, I've been experimenting with myself this week, with thinking in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I actually, had, some of my own, Jedi thought tricks into myself to see how my script would react. And I bring myself back to be a certain way, just play around with stuff and everything. And I had a pretty good week. I really had, and I'm also being more aware of things and about things that's going on. I mean, at work, I'm really feeling, I'm really more cognizant of my thoughts and how they are. And, I want to talk about manifestation really quickly because I had this thing going on when I was in the car.
Yeah.
Manifestation, right? Is I came up with a process. It's like the manifestation process of thought, right? About the stage of manifestation from a thought perspective. And this is what I was thinking about because I've seen different people's lives. The first stage of manifestation is unconscious. Everything happens to the person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The person's unconscious, unaware.
Yeah.
That's the first step in manifestation. Things are happening, but the person is never the cause. It's always a result. I brought up this thing about randomness. What is randomness? Randomness is whatever unexpected. See, the thing is that one thing that we don't think about, that's another topic though, but I'm going to go into manifestation. So, because I have a lot of downloads. I get so many downloads, and my downloads get downloads, and I get double download, you know?
Yeah.
And I have all these awesome ideas, and, you know, I need something to keep up with all my ideas about what I want to do. So, all right, so manifestation, you're unconscious, unaware. The next step is what I call the semi-conscious. The semi-conscious is when one becomes kind of aware that they're the cause of some of the stuff. They won't admit to everything, but they're getting aware of it, you know? Well, I'm manifesting what I'm thinking about, and maybe I'm thinking all this crap over and over again. Why does it keep on happening? So the inquiry starts happening. But it's manifesting, right? So the next stage is the awareness stage. This is where things start getting interesting. At the awareness stage, one becomes aware and notices, I'm the cause and I'm the effect. So starting to notice what's going on here and how to kind of play the game. And that takes a certain level of awareness, you know? That not only are you cause, but you're also the effect of the cause, or the cause of the effect, because it can go on. But you're getting this awareness. So then all of a sudden, what starts happening? Well, you start creating, because now you're aware, and the creation process starts now. So in the manifestation, the first process we're going up one level. So this is like manifestation or whatever, you know, level. I don't know. We're going to start from the ground floor, level 1. So the person starts to get some clarity, you know, and start to maybe have a vision in level 1 of manifestation.
Uh-huh.
So you went from the unconscious, where you're totally unaware of what's going on. Now you're in a semi-conscious, where you're starting to be aware. Next is you're aware, and now you start to become the creator. Next, the next step, after you start becoming like, you know, the creator or whatever, and starting getting clarity, you know, we all know what to do, but there's semi-steps within this one. But the first step really is to get clarity about your vision, your purpose, refine it, mind mentalize it, whatever it is that you do, but there's steps that can go within this. Then, action, right? Action mixed with faith and produces a future result.
Yep.
Now, there's also an advanced stage for manifestation, Tom. This stage is a stage that only a few people have done. I've heard of a couple, but it's possible because it's been done before. Like I used to have a friend, you know, I forget what faith he was, but he used to talk about this person named Sai Baba.
Oh yeah.
Sai Baba. What did he do?
My
Manifestation.
my mentor Richard Wilkins went out to India to study with Sai Baba.
Wow. Instant manifestation, right?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
you manifest instantly. But you know what? The script is like impossible. We do it. Our thoughts manifest instantly. We're manifestors. We're always manifesting. We can manifest something instantly. I think it's possible. It's been done before. I've heard about it throughout time. We know the steps. You go right to feeling.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. See, the thing is this. I'm sitting there at this beach club or whatever my brother belongs to, and I'm like acting as if, it's my beach club, I'm living it like it's, make believe. If you're not doing it, you're making believe, but soon you're going to believe. That's the whole entire thing. You got to do it. Manifest it. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just making the progress or whatever, but there's also certain, speeds in which we can manifest whatever the speed is appropriate for you. Obviously you have to get through certain levels of advancement because the script is going to be, it gets tougher and tougher each level that you go up. Getting to awareness on the third step is really hard. A lot of people get stuck at semi-awareness. But once you get to the awareness step, the evidence is out there. Like look at reality. Look at everything. The evidence is out there. Like very few people get past the awareness step. Majority of people are in the unconscious world. They're in the world where things happen to them. They don't get it. How many people do you know that things happen to? Random acts. I don't think there's randomness. Accidents. Accidents? What's an accident? How can some people get in more accidents than other people? Is there randomness? There's people that get in accidents. How come, like, I got into, I was careless when I was a teenager,
Right.
I had a very sporty, I paid for my own, I was kind of spoiled or whatever, and I was impatient. My dad wanted me to wait another year to get a brand new sports car. I bought a used one. And it was a 1972 Gran Torino.
Nice.
And it was a lime green, metallic green, mint condition car. I bought it from a lady. So I had the car for 6 weeks and totaled it. It was a really fast car, But I hadn't been in an accident since this past Christmas. And, and I was a minor fender bender in the parking lot. I saw it happening, but my sister's been in 5, 6.
Right.
And there's people that have been in accidents.
Yeah.
I never broke a bone. Randomness. We think thoughts, right? I think a lot. I think all the time, Tom. I have to admit, I'm a thoughtaholic. I think too much. Even when I'm thinking,
Yeah.
But the best thinking is thinking awareness thoughts and becoming aware of what you're talking about. So I've been doing this quest, for heaven and earth. Here's the interesting part, because we're doing greater life for all. So all week I've been thinking, directing my thoughts on greater life for all, because that's the ultimate vision. That's the ultimate, for me, I think that for all of us,
Yeah.
I think that we'll be remembered for that. And it'll be like a tremendous contribution to to the world. And I think that, the more I think about it a lot, and I start talking to people about it. And the funny thing is, I'm talking to this guy. He's a data guy. He works with big data. Right. I don't know what big data is. He just told me it's a lot of data. Really smart guy,
Very big ones and zeros.
So he works with big data, and we're talking about stuff. And I said, about peace on Earth and how else would not be on Earth. And I said, that's not really possible. You should need the yin and the yang. You need the opposite. Everybody has a different version of peace. So someone's version of peace is, but it's got to be peace for whatever they choose it to be. Peace on Earth for what they choose it to be, and everybody can work in harmony.
Yeah.
And I started telling them about this project, Greater Life for All, and everything, and I'm trying to explain to them about the portals and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm in the talking phase of people and downloading ideas from everybody. Everybody finds the concept kind of intriguing. And this guy said that, I tried to explain to him, and he said, wow, interesting. And I said, what? He said, I had an idea a few months ago, this is my friend saying, about starting a kind of like it's like kind of an open source type of referral platform where people would team up together. And so, for instance, if it was like someone looking for a website, right? Mm. It would be a team of people that would team up together, and so you'd hire the whole entire team, and they would all work together. So you have a project manager guy, one guy that does one type of programming, another guy does the database stuff, and you hire the whole team, and they're all working together and sharing stuff and working in unison. And I was like, wow, that's pretty. It's not a bad idea, That's his version of it, but he was thinking about it. He was thinking about it. It seemed very similar to what I was talking about with Greater Life for All and stuff, and it's amazing how people are thinking about stuff like this. That's what I'm talking about, and everybody has their interpretation about it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because we kind of go through life collecting things, and things start happening, and we start thinking maybe there's a randomness to it, Why did I get this random thing? And why is this thing sitting there for so long? And why is, why did I buy this thing or whatever? And why did I talk to that person or whatever? And all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. Things start making sense. Things start coming together. And I'm kind of feeling like that with my life. Like every single thing that I'm doing seems to be mending itself into something else. And I'm becoming somebody that I'm not. That I'm changing into like, the person I want to be. And a lot of times, I'll say it, honestly, my script, jumps in and creates thoughts in my head that make me feel a certain way, that maybe I'm acting, maybe it's not true, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I listen to my script, and I'm like, maybe I'm sitting longer than others, but I know how to get out of the scripted times. And my wife is awesome, totally awesome at getting me out of it. She can notice at the flip of a hat.
Yeah.
I'm scripted, and she's like, "Whoa, what happened?" I'm like, "What?" She said, "I didn't need to say anything," So I'm having this, and I really, Greater Life for All for me is something I think about all the time, and like I talk about it with people. One thing that I've been kind of like, my brother is very critical, and but it works for him. And he told me the other day that his partner comes with a lot of different ideas, and you always choose a part, but it's always come at a place of you need people like that. You need people to like give you feedback and to adjust, like criticism. You need criticism. We need criticism to grow. As long as it's coming from a place of trust, not scripted criticism. This is what things a lot of people buy into scripted criticism. Like a lot of people believe scripted criticism that such a thing existed, but it does.
Mm.
Scripted criticism is criticism to bring someone down and to tear them apart, just to
Yeah.
make someone else feel better. That's what scripted criticism is.
Yeah.
I've become very aware of this stuff. You know, I get I get more and more downloads about things just by living. You know, Greater Life for All. You know, my brother gave me some good criticism about it. You know, there's a lot of things to be developed on, a lot of things. But I firmly believe that the more and more we get, think about it, the more and more clarity we're going to have, and we're actually doing it right now. Each one of us is doing it. You know, like each person has a part to play. And I'm seeing, some people starting to do some awesome stuff.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
People that wouldn't be doing that are doing it. They're doing it now. And I'm making believe, but I'm doing it. I'm believing. I'm believing. Like, I could make believe that why not? I go to work, and I'm not the same Mark that I was the day before I was.
No.
I'm always changing and growing with the place that I'm in, but I also know that, how to directly manifest my reality. I can manifest instantaneously. I'm like a Sai Baba. I can manifest something. You know what? Like, we could all do it.
Well, this is the thing that I think on manifesting. Manifesting usually is something that the script has come up with as a reason for you not to go straight to the feelings. It'll say manifest something physically so that you can then feel. Well, I can go straight to the feelings, so I don't need to manifest, right? The feelings is the ultimate. So why have to go and manifest something physical in order to have the feelings? Otherwise, all you're doing is just showing off.
Tom, that's so true, because the feelings is the big thing in instantaneous manifestation, because you know what? You can go right to the feeling. Because you know what, Tom? I'll tell you one thing.
Go on.
And I'm pretty sure you know about this, right? How many people do you know that have that rock star life that are freaking miserable?
Yeah, a lot.
I know millionaire friends that you can never touch because they have so many millions of dollars that are miserable. It's not the money that you're after, it's the feeling.
You got it.
You can go right to feel it and you feel awesome. That's why that's the kind of like type of thing that, I feel about and think about the Greater Life for All experience, Because there's so many things that this can be. And that I love talking about it, and the more I talk about it, and the more I get into it, and it's directing my thoughts on things that I want. So my book's been ever changing, and I'm always downloading so many ideas about stuff to do. So I had a download the other night, and I shared it with Brian. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my book into a series, and I'll share about it in one second. But basically, what I'm going to do is going to have Greater Life for All, and then I'm writing on installment 1, which is Self, and it's going to be an ebook, and it's going to be describing people's self from the perspective of myself.
Right.
And I think that, all of us, I believe, kind of feel, a certain way. I think that, we could all think a certain way, and I would like to, get in touch with the people thinking a certain way, and the whole concept of the series is to do installments to break it down for people to understand, because it's such a complicated thing, because the script doesn't understand, what a Greater Life for All actually is. And, I asked this data guy, You know, what's greater life for all for you? And he didn't even think about it. He said happiness.
Yeah.
Ah, awesome, right? See, one thing I was thinking about doing, but like I'm gonna have to get some help because I'd love to have like a string, you know, like on LinkedIn. You know, like I do a lot of recruiting and stuff like that on LinkedIn and stuff. But I see a lot of people like that make comments, and then they have, you know, comments type of comments. You know, I'd love to do an inquiry and see how many people would give me an answer. But I don't want to send out an inquiry that doesn't get answered. Actually, doesn't get answered, still gets answered.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting experiment. Because you know, whatever it comes back, you know, is definitely, you know, will be an answer to something. You know, when you ask a question, even if you don't get an answer, you're still getting an answer.
Yeah, people are telling you that they're not that interested.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what feedback is. Feedback is awesome. I like feedback. I like, you know, what you know people's interpretation are. And you know, I like thinking. You know, I really do like thinking, and this has been a great chapter. And I really like where things are going with this program. It's 2 months into this program, and I'm already doing things that I can't even believe that I'm doing, and I'm having an effect. Like the effect
Yeah.
is I'm becoming more and more coherent, and I'm making better choices, I'm asking better questions, and I'm acting a certain way. Like yesterday is a classic example. I was very proud of myself, you know, like, because one thing about myself growing up, or it's been difficult for me, is always asserting myself and speaking up for myself. And the context isn't really the greatest context or whatever, but it's kind of like I bought tickets to see Heaven is for Real with my family.
Yeah.
So it's me, my wife, my father, my stepmother, my sister, and her husband. So we got 6 seats, and we got up there, and there's 2 ladies sitting in my seat, my wife's seat, you know. And I was like, that's odd, you know. How could that be? So, but I knew it was my seat, but you know, I was feeling, you know, I bought tickets to be my family, and I didn't want to have any problems or anything like that. And I asked the lady for a ticket. And I didn't engage in any type of, you know, argument, and she was getting a little bit, you know, complaining and going to script about whatever it was or whatever, and I didn't like buy into it. Because I know when the script tries to engage people to react in a certain way. And I
Yes.
chose not to engage in that script. I was like, I'm not going down a script, and it's stupid. About a seat, and you're old, you know, it was getting so. She showed me a ticket, and I saw on a ticket that she bought a ticket for the wrong time. We went to a 7:20 movie, and she had a ticket for the 4:50 movie. I said, "Ma'am, this is the 4:50 ticket and it was 7:20." They said no. So I said, you know, can I have your receipt? Let me see. And Liliana, my wife, you know, she was by my side. And you know, but she's very nice. You know, she was like, you know, with me or everything like that. But I said, you know, I'm going to go and check with the person out front, you know, about this. And I made the right choice. I listened to my instinct and went out, and I went to the person up front, and I was right, you know. And I said to the person, I don't want to start anything, but you know, this is my seat, you know. And the guy came and told them to move their seat, you know. And they complained a little bit, but they moved. And they didn't complain about it, but I felt like, you know, I did the right thing. And my dad and I smiled, you know, and they were proud. And I did the right thing. I acted out of kindness. I didn't engage in anything, and I didn't do anything wrong. It was my seat, and they still get to see the movie. They sat right in front of us because, luckily enough, it wasn't sold out, you know. But I'm just saying that I could speak up for myself and,
Yeah.
you know, assert myself and not really engage in script stuff. I'm growing and changing, and I'm becoming a man. You know, I'm becoming who I am. And and the whole thing also is I'm feeling like more and more connected with myself and and also with others too. And I'm more open and I'm more open and talking to more people. I find myself a lot of times, like when I go into a store or whatever, I'm somehow getting engaged in a conversation with somebody and giving a smile or whatever. But I'm always like talking to more and more people. I used to be very introverted. And, because you never know, like, there's no randomness to life. And you never know that person that you're going to say hello to might be that person that has that something that you're looking for or they're looking for. Because the whole thing is that we are what we think about. And we're always creating every single day. And all our thoughts, the thoughts are all out there. There's so many interpretations about thought, So all the thoughts are out there, but where do all the thoughts come from? All the thoughts come from, like there's different interpretations that I have about thought. But I think that the more and more people that are out there, the more and more thought forms that are out there as well. And thought has been going on since the beginning of time. There's been thought. So someone, at some period of time, whatever it is, and it could be whatever thought that, like thought, right? Science fiction. What's science fiction? It's just thought. And the crazy thing that I could think about is like it's an imagination. How did these guys know, Tom, that we would be having, radio, watch phones, talking, like Star Trek and stuff. We're like living Star Trek now in a way. We have like still portable phones and everything like that. That was science fiction, and now it's fiction. And they thought about this stuff years ago. The thought's been thinking. Everybody's thinking. Everybody's been thinking since the beginning of time. Everything. And we're all thinking. We're all like attaching the thoughts. Maybe we're like antennas, but still the thoughts. The bottom line is that the more and more people that are out there, the more and more, like the bigger and bigger the stream gets. And I look at this kind of like, well, our thoughts create things. Yeah. And so what are they creating? If we're always thinking about stuff, we say, they're good and bad, but there's so many thoughts that are creating where they're going. So is there randomness? Could someone have thought about, whatever happening? We have dreams and we see people and stuff like that, and we don't know who they are. Maybe it's like we don't know. Like it's like so many things that are going on. Like it's like the thoughts is a randomness to thinking. And when something happens to you unexpectedly, how do you know there wasn't a thought that happened before? We have to be careful what we're thinking.
Yeah, you said it.
So also, I think about this too because the universe is always expanding, right, Tom?
Yeah.
What's expanding the universe? What's causing the expansion of the universe, Tom?
Well, the theory is the energy of the initial the initial conditions of the universe, which some people would say theoretically, mathematically is probably a Big Bang, and that gravity will kind of slow down the expansion, and it will maybe oscillate, or it will carry on going, and well, it'll either, if gravity's big enough, gravity will slow it down and it will crunch it all together in a huge explosion. If gravity is not big enough, it will carry on expanding and kind of die out gradually. Or some people think it will just oscillate between the two. There's no proof of either of those three conditions, really. And that's just the physics behind it.
What
Basically,
about
no one knows, Mark. No one knows.
what about the metaphysics?
The metaphysics says that we create it, and it's always in constant change. And basically, the job of those who can think, in other words, those who can use metaphysical powers, it's our job to combat the ever increasing expansion of the universe into disorder, to turn that into order and reorganize the energy that's spreading out in all directions and turn it into life and bring a kind of a balance, to bring balance to the force, basically.
Yeah. Our thoughts expand out, creating more and more, because the more and more people that are out there, wouldn't that create more and more expansion of things? Because if thoughts create things, you know, our thoughts are creating stuff. It's pretty amazing, though, because
It's exciting when you think about it. It's really exciting.
we break it down. Our thoughts create things. So a lot of times, sometimes the thing about also is like, you know, our thoughts create things, and we're all creating things in our lives. So we're all created in thought.
Yeah.
Like I thought you, Tom, and you thought me.
Yeah.
I thought you thought this WhatsApp group, and you thought me, and I thought you, and everybody thought each other. And you know, technology is such an amazing, it's such an amazing thing to have, technology, because what's going on now is that the more and more people, like the open sourceness of this platform really is going to spark some stuff if you do things right, you know? The technology is the ultimate medium to like really make things happen quicker.
Yeah.
And really bringing things out there, like spreading the message. You know, like, I would love to go viral, you know, with stuff and see how awesome that is, you know? And have a, you know, Greater Life for All going viral, and, you know, I think that'd be really cool. I'm very excited about everything, and, you know, I'm very blessed right now at this particular moment in time, and I'm always feeling blessings and stuff like that. And one thing I just want to say is my idea for Tea With is actually giving me like a lot of joy, and I'm really feeling,
Lovely.
you know, that I'm manifesting my reality in it. You know, it's like I'm taking action, and I'm doing it, and I feel like really awesome about it. You know, like I have my own show. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm doing something, and I'm manifesting my vision, and I'm living it. Like I had an awesome day today, you know. I felt awesome, you know. I felt awesome. I feel more and more awesome every day, and even the bad days, I'm actually feeling awesome, you know.
Why not? You'd never choose just because it's a bad day. Can't stop you from feeling awesome.
You know, because what's a good day? Like I'm always questioning that. Like what makes a day a bad day or a good day or whatever day? You know, what are you supposed to be learning or whatever? What's supposed to be in your consciousness? What's your level of awareness that you're going through? And I'm picking up a lot of things about myself and everything. I'm growing a lot, and I'm feeling more. I'm feeling more. And, you know, one thing I just want to say is that, you know, like, I'm very, you know, tomorrow I'm having I'm having tea with Richard. And
Cool.
that's going to be really great. And one thing I like about the Tea With thing, the show, is that I really like the genuineness that, people, are the genuineness they're receiving from the people on the show. And I'm going to have one of my friends' wife on the show.
Cool.
She actually has been, studying stuff about the metaphysical. I like people that are open to metaphysical. And she's studying angel guides.
Cool.
And I think she could benefit from Greater Life for All. But she's the type of people that we're looking for. I told her about the whole entire project. And I said, we're going to do our best to keep it unscripted as possible. To talk and everything. So I'm going to start bringing people on the show from, outside the group, like mix it up a little bit, And, I'm having fun with it. And I think that's what we should all do is have fun with what we're doing and start doing. I think that we should start manifesting, because the whole entire thing is. And to bring things full circle, because I get off a tangent a lot, but, and the whole purpose of my talk, whatever, is just to discuss manifestation. And to manifest the things that you desire in your life. And to do it now. And whatever level that you are at in a manifestation process, stretch it. Stretch yourself. If you're at level 1, stretch yourself. Think. And if you're at that going for it stage, if you're at the stage of taking action, stretch it. Go to feeling. You go to feeling in any stage also. You don't need to go through the unconscious to the semi. You can go from the unconscious to conscious. You can go from unconscious to feeling. And that's the awesome part. See, it goes full circle in a way. And our thoughts create things. And I would love to just, I got an idea about breaking down thoughts, My step-nephew is 17 or I think it's 18 years old. He made a game it's on the App Store. It's very basic, but he put an app out, an 18-year-old, very basic app game, I never did do that. Pretty awesome. But he just went for it. What I'm saying is that you just go for it. Go right to feeling. Feel awesome. I mean, I love feeling awesome. I love, just feeling awesome, like I achieved what I did. And the thing is that, and here's a part, Tom, that is really amazing about it. And I was working with it for a little while myself, because it's tough to do. But to stretch the feeling time.
Yeah.
To feel longer. It's awesome to feel it for a short while, because but that's the script. But if you could stretch the feeling time of feeling awesome, like feeling like you're doing it.
Why not stretch it? Yeah.
Stretch it longer.
Yeah.
And longer.
I was thinking about this today, actually. I was thinking about there's no such thing as there's no such thing as time. There's only our experience of time, and if you're noticing more frequently, then you get the opportunity to enjoy something more. And if you don't notice that often, you don't get the opportunity to enjoy it. So when people say time flies when you're having fun,
yeah,
you sometimes miss the fact that it's been awesome and you've really enjoyed it. So when you're not having fun and you're noticing, oh God, this is really dragging. Actually, that's brilliant because it's an opportunity to raise your awareness. So you get many more opportunities to raise your awareness when you're doing something you don't like, and that's really cool.
Well, Tom, and this is what's been coming to my awareness lately, and I don't know anything about your Reasonable Eating program, but for some reason, the more I've been thinking, which is kind of weird, but because you said our thoughts create things, and I've been thinking about the chapter and everything, but what's been coming to my awareness is chewing my food more.
Yeah.
And that, in terms of manifestation.
It's chewing your food until liquid is the first algorithm in the Reasonable Eating program.
And that's becoming
such a biggie. It's so important.
You know what? I mean, I actually told my wife that. I said, you know what? You should know what her mom does. Her mom eats very slowly.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, let's break it down, because when you chew your food more, right? You taste it more.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it still tastes the same, but you taste it more. And then the saying comes up: less is more.
Yeah.
So you eat less. So I'm not the the thought stage about it, you know, and I see it myself doing it. So, you know, it's like mindful eating, you said, which is pretty awesome. And it's a manifestation, Tom. I'm manifesting my dream, and but you know, the thing is that, you know, we go into feeling, and then we keep it as a temporary feeling, which leads me to believe the fact about heaven and earth. It's a temporary feeling. So they all relate to each other. Jesus manifested immediately. He was a master manifester. He touched people and healed them. He walked on water. He didn't think about it, he did it. We could walk in water, but you know, people like it was impossible. I guarantee you once, get this one. Because my sister told me this, and you know, sometimes, you know, my sister told me this, and it makes sense that, you know, the movie Heaven's for Real.
Yeah.
That, you know, she read an article, something like that, that since that happened, more and more 4-year-olds are having similar experiences.
Hmm.
And then they showed like a girl who had a similar experience in a third part of the country was drawing a picture of Jesus. So it leads me to believe that maybe there has been some truth to it. And the truth of stuff is this. Once somebody or, you know, people get a certain amount of awareness about something, others do become aware. It's like it's like an event, you know, like a belief or whatever.
Yeah, it's called the Bannister effect, which is based on Roger Bannister, the guy who was the first to break the 4-minute mile. For like
yeah, the guy, it was impossible to run right? No one could do it.
That's right. And then after,
and all of a sudden, what happened?
Yeah, loads of people in the 5 people did it within a few months of him doing it.
So heaven and earth, you know, what's the message here that we're getting? That 4-year-olds are seeing it. What happens when you're 4? Are we being exposed to it and we're not thinking it is? Because the script?
It could be the script is coming in that sort of time. These people start going to school, start getting script, and their intuition is fighting the script.
Pain. I don't choose pain and suffering. Tom, do you choose pain and suffering as an option?
I've done that in the past. It doesn't work out very well.
But we choose it because they say that, you know, that's the whole purpose of life.
Yeah.
Why do all religions preach pain and suffering on earth? I don't get it. Why not just go right to heaven on earth? Why not feeling awesome?
Well, actually, it has to be that this all religions are a human construct. Whether or not there is tremendous truth in them or not is irrelevant, really. They're a human construct. There was a time before religions existed. You know, unless you're a creationist and you believe the world was created old, and you know the world is 4.5 billion years old, but it was created at like 4.5 or 4.4 billion years and a few million years, and it's only really has only been around for 6,000 years or something. Unless you believe that, you believe that basically humans evolved and they were around for quite a while, and humans were around for a lot longer than religion. Now, of course, the principles have always been there. Whether or not humans were here or not doesn't mean that the principles of physics and the laws of eternal laws of physics weren't there. But our kind of human interpretation of them, which we call religion, has only been around for a few thousand years. So obviously it isn't eternal. It might be that the principles that religions refer to are eternal, but the mechanics and the operation and the organization of the religions aren't eternal. And that's what happens. It's the human aspect of them that kind of misses the point in many cases. Now, if you follow what, say, Jesus or any of the great leaders were saying, they basically, I mean, there wasn't much wrong with what they were saying. It was like good stuff. You know, Jesus said, look, forget about the dead. Let the dead mourn the dead. Worry about the living. Create heaven on earth. Don't worry about getting to heaven when you die as a result of doing good stuff. Create it now. You know, create eternal life here. And that's what I think is the right thing. Look, this is the only opportunity we got, really. I'm not. Look, put it like this, Mark. If eternal life exists, it exists outside of time. If it exists outside of time, then it's available now.
You know what, Tom? I believe, and I've had a thought for a while, and I want to be involved in alerting and spreading the message that it's possible to do it, and help people wake up and be aware that we can do it. Because why not? You know, why not? Like, I think everybody deserves to be happy, or whatever interpretation having happiness is. Because like, it's amazing how many, you know, I believe in oneness and wholeness of everything, but it's still this separation. Because separation, I guess, for some reason has to exist. You know, and whatever interpretation people have of happiness and freedom and everything like that, I think I think we all deserve it. You know, I would love it. You know, and I would love to have, you know, heaven and earth and freedom for us all.
And you know what? All we need to do to create it is for enough people to be like us.
And that's what I'm saying, is that, you know, there is a thinking pattern, and our thoughts create things. So we have to get to kind of general consensus of thought patterns to create it. And you know, I'm very optimistic that you know, this is I feel like this is my you know, part of my purpose here on this earth. Why I went through what I went through.
Yeah.
In my life, the pain and suffering that I went through. I think everybody has their own interpretation about what it is. And why did you go through that? Why did you choose that? Why do we created everything, right? So why do we choose the thoughts that we chose? Why do we choose those thoughts? And people, you know, if you have the awareness, you know you chose those thoughts a certain period of time. it's unfortunate, and the whole thing that people don't want to believe.
Well, I think. By the way, it's 1:45 in the morning, so I'm going to wrap up now, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up now too. So let's wrap it up.
I suppose what I'm trying to do with this program, and what you've already realized, Mark, is that essentially all we've got to do is two things. The first is be the difference ourselves, be the example, be whatever we would like everybody to be. And all great spiritual leaders talk about this. Just be the example, be that amazing awesomeness that you can be out of your script. That's it. That's our first thing to actually do. And the second thing we need to do is concentrate all our metaphysical powers on visualizing heaven on earth for everybody. So we do two things. We do the physical things, being the example, being awesome, having a great job, being a great husband, being a great father, being a great son, just being great in everything we do. And then any spare time we've got when we're not actually, fussed with actually being great, we divert our intense metaphysical powers into visualizing with everybody being awesome and creating heaven on earth. We don't control them. We don't wish they would do something. We just visualize it. And that'll do it. That'll be enough.
Well, I'm on board for that project.
Yeah, too right. Well, you're already doing it. You've already started. Too late, Mark. You're already in it.
Tom, you're the best influence in my life, so I'm very happy that you stumbled across me somehow and thought about me.
Well, listen, the universe had other plans for our lives, and it somehow brought us together. I used to think, whoa, it's so lucky. I might not have bumped into these people. I might have, not done this. I might not have got married to my wife. I might not have met this person. All that sort of stuff. But actually, we're just unconscious agents of the Supreme most of the time. It's just like the universe has realized that, oh, I know Tom's he's good at certain things. I know this is how I use him. Oh, Mark's awesome at this. This is how I use him. And it realized that, oh, you were already thinking these things. I was already thinking these things. Sam was already thinking these things. Brian was already thinking these things. Sonia, everybody, Ruth, everyone was thinking these things already. And that's kind of the universe. Hey, these guys, let's put them together. Let's see what they could do. If they can all, they're all individual coals. They're all sort of burning bright, but if we put them all together, woof.
Yep.
You got it.
I got you, brother. So you gotta go to bed, right? I'm gonna eat dinner.
Okay, you have a wonderful.
I'm actually gonna watch one of my favorite movies, actually, with my wife. Do you remember a movie called Donnie Darko?
I've not seen that yet.
Oh, it's lovely. You gotta see that because it kind of reminds you of like stuff we're talking about.
Wow. Okay.
It's actually a very deep movie, and this guy has a bubble that comes. It's like a metaphysical bubble, right?
Oh, sounds cool.
Time travels, and it comes out of his gut. It's really interesting. I really love that movie.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
It's one of those mind-bending movies that make you think. I like movies that make you think a certain way. In fact, I have ideas about movies that I want to make on my own. That I want to write. So yeah, I'll let you go. All right.
You enjoy your evening. Have a wonderful evening with your wife. Keep doing what you're doing, Mark. The action you're taking and the thoughts that you're having are just phenomenal. And not only do you deserve every kind of awesomeness in the world that you're getting at the moment, you deserve it, but you deserve to utilize your powers on the world stage. So it's all coming to you, buddy. It's all coming.
I appreciate it.
Looking forward to being on the stages of the world with you, my friend.
Me too. Me too.
All right, buddy. Have a great evening. Bye. See you next time.